If you think jealousy has not shown up in our family,
then you have not been paying attention.
not only does it show up, but it's not about if it happens or if it shows up, it's what you do about it when it does.
And it's really important to kind of dissect. So we're going to talk about what that kind of is for us. Like, how do we feel when it shows up? What does it look like when it shows up? Now, for me personally, what I learned about jealousy for me, which is probably something you guys won't expect me to say, what I learned about jealousy for me is that Coach Nyla and Coach Nazir don't even have to be near me for it to happen.
Warning, what you're about to hear may challenge your beliefs, confront your excuses, and expose where your frame may be weak. Good, because comfort doesn't build leaders. Truth doesn't follow trends, and legacy was never meant for the crowd. Our content is made for men and women who value truth over trends, structure and substance over style, and legacy over likes. If that speaks to you, welcome to Outstanding Personal Relationships. I'm Coach Nazir. Let's get it.
I'm Coach Nyla.
And I'm Coach Fatimah.
And we are both co-wives, co-founders of Outstanding Personal Relationships, as well as co-authors of the book, Let's Talk Polygamy Uncensored. So yes, jealousy is a big topic. It's a big topic, especially in polygyny. It's not only in polygyny, so it's not exclusive to polygyny.
Yeah.
However, it shows its ugly head. And it doesn't matter if you're 1 year in it, 6 months in it, or 16 years in it. It still shows up from time to time. So
yeah, and we try to run from it because who wants to look like the jealous girl? Especially if you grew up in the West. It's not cool or attractive to be jealous, or you look weak, or you look insecure if you're jealous, and all these things. And it's like, this is actually something that's natural. Give you an example. If a father has more than one daughter and they're babies, you might see them fight over their dad. No, you don't hug him. He's my daddy, and all this stuff like that. And we're not calling Coach Nazir our daddy. However, he does have more than one wife, and we get caught up in sequence of wives. So, for example, the second wife shouldn't be jealous because she knew what it was and she came into this and this was already established. This is a myth. We're going to bust the myth really quickly. And I will say this as an initial wife. It's really, sometimes it can be downright ignorant to think that other wives, even though they're subsequent wives, we try to devalue and go, well, you knew what it was. No, people don't know what anything is really, in many cases, until they've experienced it. And one of the things that they can experience too is jealousy. And I spoke about how mine could show up if we're not even in the same city, country, continent, and things of that nature. So, and I didn't know that was going to happen to me. But one of the things I had to learn as an initial wife, just because a wife is a new wife or she hasn't been in polygyny with the husband that long, it doesn't mean they're void of jealousy or insecurity or many things that we have experienced as initial wives. We try to gatekeep those things and say, well, you don't understand divorces and marriage and what the pain of the initial wife is going through. We like to throw that around a lot, and I think it's really unfair. I think it's wrong.
I like that she said that, because I've gotten that so many times. Not just that though, but the interesting thing of, I can't wait till Coach Nazir gets a third wife because she's gonna really see how it feels, and these different things like that. Jealousy showed up and would be there regardless of if it's a third wife or not. Why? Because I came into something that was already existing, and I stated in a number of videos that I've had this mentality because this was something that has been told to me, that you will never catch up. You will never be this, or you weren't. So it's like almost like you don't belong, or you're going to always be on the back burner, or you're going to always be, the one that's behind. So those things can chip at your self-esteem. And when things chip at your self-esteem, you start comparing, and comparison is the thief of peace and the thief of joy. So when you look at it, and like I looked at it, I'm like, man, I'm not going to, I wasn't here. They have their story, and the story has been talked about, whether it's on social media, whether it's on YouTube, whether it's on anything like that, because the story is the story. The life is the life. Nothing is going to negate the life that they had or have. So I had to understand that and get out of my own way to understand that that is what it is. However, that doesn't mean that certain things don't come up. That doesn't mean that if they're celebrating their anniversary and going somewhere, doing something nice and sweet and everything like that, the ugly whispers of what we say shaitan could come into.
Yeah, who was that? Who's shaitan, if you knew?
Sight, and the devil.
The devil. Nobody can say the devil. Like, you say it hard on her chest.
In the ear.
If you didn't know who it was, that's who it is. Yes.
And you have it. You have that happen. I'm not going to pretend like it doesn't happen. I'm going to pretend like it still doesn't happen. It's what you do with it. Now, back in the day, I didn't have what I have now. I wasn't in a position where I say, you know what, you do have some good qualities about you. It's not a comparison of my co-wife. She has some amazing qualities. It does no comparison. It's like, okay, she got these things. She's amazing. That's her. That's who she is. I have these things. I'm amazing. I don't have to be like, I have to draw like her. I can't draw a lick. She has all types of art, artistic abilities and everything like that.
Before I met Coach Nazir,
it's totally different.
It's not attached to him. That's the part. We attached I like that. Coach Nyla was saying, when we talk about the history, and sometimes people fall in love with the love story, and the people that's in it ain't in love, and they going through hell. So a lot of people were like, yeah, but it was just you two. Yeah, that's great. However, this is the year after polygyny, or this is the year I found out about him being in polygyny. I don't really like him that much. You might like him right now before me, So it's like they think this is this big, huge romantic love story. And we were in high school, y'all, so a lot of it is like, it's so, you know what it is? I look at it and I go, I'm over it, because I'm like, sometimes you got to get over yourself and understand that our husbands, it's funny, they have the capacity to love in different ways, right? So we're not enjoying the way that they love us in this relationship. It may look completely different. It may be polar opposite from what you think this should look like, just because my grandparents were married 32 years and ended up divorced. And my grandma was like, you know what? I had all those years. But it was all those years of hell. I said, well, you liked him sometime. You had 3 kids, girl. And she was like, yeah, whatever. I'm like, no, don't gloss over that. Don't gloss over that part. But I like that. It's our husbands love in different ways. And sometimes we can't see that they have the capacity to do it. No. They might not talk to us the same. And there's a bunch of stuff I don't know. Listen, I could draw and I could dress. I've always said it. However, but if it's some tech, if it's something with me trying to comprehend something in business, I know 2 people in my life that I need to get. One of them is sitting beside me, because we've been in rooms before where I'm like, this is probably one of my favorite co-wife stories. I got lost in the sauce in one of these tech things on a screen, and Coach Nyla helped me with it. And I was like, yay, look at me. I go to the next screen. I get hemmed up in the screen I was in before, and then she just so gently, I'll never forget this. She just so gently goes, she should have been a teacher, like for real. She goes, how do you keep getting here? This is like, I don't know how. She got me out a 3rd time. So I was like, she's good at like computers and like the reading of the books and like these different things as far as diving deep into like education and things like that. And I'm not strong in that area, but I'm like, I know who to get, and I know who to ask, and I know who's stronger than me in that area. So I embrace that part. I'm like, I like the fashion and the artsy, creative part of me. That's where my genius lies. But that doesn't mean that someone else doesn't have genius. That doesn't mean that someone else doesn't have something that makes them shine. And because there's subsequent wives, you go, ain't nothing making you shine. And you don't understand what I'm going through. It's a lot of that attention. There's a privilege in polygyny. There's an initial wife privilege. And we never want to talk about it. Well, we do.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
do. We talk about
definitely
it.
talk about it. I do also believe that that's the thing that people don't understand that can that exacerbates, that put the fire on the jealousy or the comparison, not just the comparison between, like the wives compare, like the wives could possibly not even compare each other and be having a funky good time. And next thing you know, you have other people putting that in. They start adding fuel, you know, to the flames, and or they start fanning flames or starting the fire and then adding the fuel to it, where you know they're stating, well, she does this, or she looks better, or she da da da, and they didn't even think about it because they're just enjoying themselves. I'm gonna give one little thing that I saw. It was two ladies that this was, I think, TikTok or something like that. And they were dancing. They were doing a little belly dance thing because one, I guess, or they like belly dance teachers or something. I don't know. The stuff always just pop up on your feed. Anywho, so they're doing that, and the comments, that video specifically was actually to talk about a comment that people were making in comparison to them. So that's what the video was about. What the short was about was a comparison. It's like, we're just two women having a good time. We're two friends enjoying each other's company, having a good time. And you always got to make a comparison about it.
Why can't we just watch stuff and shut up?
So that's the thing. So you have that. So when people say, well, you will never understand this, or I can't wait until this happens, or da da da, I'm like, honey, you don't know what's inside or what's going on and what's behind closed doors, because I had to go through personal development and I have to fight my own demons to not deal with my own internal struggles of jealousy, you know, and it had to be another, I'm like, it's already another wife. It's like, you know, yes, I know what I came into. I know that everything was all gravy in my brain until other people started throwing the ammunition to poke holes in my self-esteem.
This is the wild part. The whole I can't wait part is crazy to me. I wouldn't even know how to say that to somebody. I don't talk like that. Oh, I can't wait to you. This is the thing about polygyny, especially from our perspective. They think Coach Nyla's life started when she married him. So that's why she don't know nothing. Because you couldn't have collected information before this happened. You couldn't have been married before this happened, had children before this happened. You couldn't have done anything. Life started the moment I said yes to him and the moment he agreed to be in polygyny. That's when my life started. Because then it became, this one sister, we mutually know her. Matter of fact, she's in the family. She said, you know what's crazy is that people act like that's all you are, is somebody's wife. Now, we're not saying it's not honorable. However, there's more levels to a person than just that. Right? So I'm like, did our lives started when we got married? Nothing else mattered before then. We didn't know or learn anything else before then. So then we make a video, or Coach Nyla will make a video, and then it becomes you don't know that. You can't speak on it. Like, she ain't been around people that were married, divorced, and went through stuff. That's crazy to me. It's such an immature, inflammatory thing to say, and it's just wrong. Because I can talk about these things. I do have an opinion and a voice. And I don't have to be sitting here, and Coach Nazir does not have to be sitting here. There's a bunch of videos on YouTube of Coach Nyla by herself talking about this stuff. But if you want to close your ears and you decided, I'm not listening because she don't know anything, well, then that's a flaw in you. It doesn't speak to who she is. It's just the people that want to listen to her will be the right people, and the wrong people don't care no way, and neither do we.
And don't matter.
It don't matter. Because I've never cared.
I think that's I believe that's a thing. And people have to understand, life still moves on and things happen. So, and like I said, if I continued to allow what other people say dig at me, it'll be a lot of different things that I can, that I can beat myself up about and be jealous about. Where it's the the daughters that I have bonus daughters. I have my daughter, and I have bonus daughters. So Coach Nazir and Coach Fatimah, they both have daughters and sons together. If I want to say that, if I want to segment things, I can if I really wanted to. It can be really petty and just messed up and manipulative on my part. It could be very just it would diminish the beauty of the family if I nitpicked at everything that's different. Like I said, comparison is the thief of joy and the thief of peace. I can go, oh, well, they have grandchildren together and all these different things like that. And oh, look at the pictures and this. I can do all of that stuff if I really wanted to, but what good would it do? All it does is create division and disconnect and things like that. And I'm saying that because when people say, wait till this happen, wait till that, you don't understand that if we want to make it an issue, we can make it an issue. We can pick anything. Anything. You're like, oh, their house looks like this. Oh, they went to the store that day. Oh, look what they have on. Anything. Pick something. Point, yeah. You're like, oh, they went outside today and enjoyed the sun, and I was stuck in the house.
I heard about it.
Like, come on, people, come on. And I'm saying this because people are like, well, you're saying it, then you must have. No, I'm saying that I do have. Here's my thing, and this is my thought process. I like to put myself in other people's shoes. I've done that. So when people make that comment, when the comments have been made, when the comments have been made where you don't understand and you haven't done and Dr. Woo, I know that I put myself in other people's shoes. I'm just built like that. I've done that ever since I was a kid. I'm built that way. So when I think about that, I'm like, I don't want a person to feel this way. I know what that feels like. I don't want the person to feel that way. But then I also ask myself, how do I not feel this way? What do I need to do to not feel this way? When the comments come, or I have the viewers or whatever look and say, well, Coach, you make it seem like it's no problem or it's so easy and this and that, whatever. I'm not saying that it's easy. I don't think she's I'm not making
that. She could never. That would be a lie, though, too, y'all. Seriously, I don't think Coach Nyla ever said that.
Never said it was easy, but it's doable. It's doable. You can do it if you choose to do it. It's a choice that we make. So I can choose to dwell on jealousy. I can choose to dwell on negativity. I can choose to nitpick at whatever the heck I want to. Or I can choose peace. Or I can choose growth. Or I could choose those things, and you can too. We all can do those things, and that's what had to happen. So even if you got other people poking holes in your stuff, and even the husbands out there, sometimes you guys do stuff, and y'all don't realize sometimes that you guys are causing jealousy as well, where you are things could not seem fair, but if we talk about it, that's cool. It's being able, because sometimes things may not seem fair, and you might know
and
better
we standing
than
there going, what the heck?
It is what it is. But when you do certain things where you're not consistent with boundaries, or you're not consistent with, this is what's going on with this wife, and this is consistent with this wife, and not comparing the two wives and different things like that, and realize they're not the same person. So one thing that's not going to be the same for the other. So all those different things, you guys have to understand too, that sit back instead of it, because sometimes it might just be easy just giving them the same thing, or it may be easy of saying the same thing. It's not about being easy. It's about growing your legacy, and it's about making sure that your family is smooth and connected. And even if it's some craziness going on, you guys can come together. It's going to be some difficult times, some hard times, some tough times. But you as a leader have to be able to deal with that, especially if you decided to choose polygyny. Yes. So that type of thing is, so you got to find out and ask yourself, am I creating jealousies between, my wives? Am I doing those things too? Yes, we're responsible for our own, of how we handle our feelings, but we also have to understand, are we allowing other people, or are we being the person that's poking those things, and planting the seeds, exactly. That's destroying our family and destroying our connections.
I mean, and I think we haven't called that out enough, because we always want to hold the wives accountable. And if Coach Nazir was on this video, he would say he's had to hold himself accountable. So sometimes it's the things like Coach Nyla was mentioning. These things are pretty serious, and be careful about what falls out of your hands as a husband. you know? I spoke earlier on a different video. I said, we don't look inward enough and go, okay, maybe I need to fix something in me and stop thinking everybody else gonna do it. And this, I'm gonna close with this, guys. Don't expect everybody to have the same heart you have. Okay? Because when you do that, then you go, why? If you had said that to me, I'd be fine. I don't know what the problem is. Everybody doesn't operate that way. And you don't get to say, well, you know what? I don't know what the problem is. I could have handled that.
Yeah.
Well, that's you. That's you. You could have handled that. But when other people, they feel a certain way and their heart is set up a certain way, then it's better to understand and admit this person's heart is this way. Say it like that. This person's heart is this way. Say it like this. For example, Coach Nazir, don't be beating around nobody's bush. Just say it. Don't load him full of stories. Don't get to the point because you got about 30 seconds because he wants to get to the solution. He don't want to hear all this yapping. He don't want to hear too many, like you getting super, super, super emotional because then he don't know what to do with it. We both can attest to that. But then I thought that was rude to be that blunt. I was like, I can be direct, but being that direct, I can't. I like to throw a little story in there and a little nope, because to him that was wasting time, and we could have got to the solution by now. And I'm like, but I got to tell a story because that wouldn't be me. But then I said, I got to know my audience. And sometimes your audience is your spouse, and understanding that everybody's heart is different. Don't assume that your co-wife can handle the same things you can, and don't assume she don't know anything because you came into this. That's a really big ask and a harsh judgment because we don't know what it is until we in it many times because we have a picture of what we think it's going to be. And sometimes it could be the absolute polar opposite of that. So yeah, keep that in mind. Everybody doesn't have the same heart as you, and jealousies are natural. They're going to happen. It's absolutely about how you handle it. Okay?
Yeah, definitely. And the good thing that how our family operates on certain things when it comes to jealousies, when it comes to hard conversation, when it comes to those different things, we've gotten better and consistently getting better with having them. It's really interesting. People got to understand you can't avoid the negative and think that everything is going to be good. It's like my mom used to have a statement that she used to say. She said, when you don't handle stuff, when it's new, like but the word wasn't stuff. It was and then she said, you start to stir it up, it starts to stink. So when you bring up old, she says, when you bring up old, it starts to stink. So you handle it, clean it at the beginning. But you have to understand, even if you didn't at that time, and you have to bring it back up because it keeps coming back up and it keeps stinking up your marriage or keeps stinking up your relationships and everything like that, you may want to have the conversation and get it taken care of. And the thing is, the thing that we can talk about with Coach Nazir, the leadership of it all is the growth of being able to say, you know what, let's have this, let's hash this out and see what's gonna, let's come up with a solution. And we have those things. We have things like parent chats and family meetings and different things like that to get through the tough times, get through the good times, and create more great memories and things as far as that. And that wasn't anything that started at the beginning. We didn't have that stuff at the beginning.
Yeah,
we grew and learned how to do these things. And, as he grew as a leader as well, he incorporated, a number of the things into our family dynamic. Some things didn't stick. Some things did. Some things are evolving. And that's how it is. So you have to understand that if you are looking for growth, you're trying to figure out even where you are in it, because you got to know where you are first in order to, to figure out where you're going. Make sure you go to polygamyquiz.com and take the assessment. Take the assessment. See where you are. See where you are on the spectrum level, and then we have other things for you to help you improve on those levels. Yeah. Because, like I said, this didn't start from day one.
Yeah, we've not mastered this at all. We've not mastered this, you guys. Give yourself some grace and give others grace too. We're going to wrap it up. But take the quiz, y'all. Don't be scared to take this quiz. We wish we had the quiz. So
Definitely.
I'm telling you, this is such a gift. It's so awesome. And again, like Coach Nyla said, it'll tell you where you are if you let it. All right, guys? So
Right.
with
and
that,
be honest with it when you do
yes,
it.
please. Yes, because you'll have to take it over. You have to take it over.
Because it's you're not getting any kudos for getting everything right. The thing is, your relationship depends on your honesty.
Yeah,
and your honesty with yourself.
Yeah, so get in there and take the quiz, y'all. So we want to know how you did so you can connect as well. So with that being said, we're going to wrap up this video with a little GLC.
So make sure you're growing intentionally,
loving fearlessly,
and connecting on a higher level
every single day.
Assalamu alaikum. Peace.